All right, today we're diving into two of the most incredible processes in all of biology, mitosis and meiosis. You can think of them as the engine of life, but they're running on two completely different and equally important missions.
So think about this for a second. Life has to solve two massive and kind of opposite problems, right? First, it's got to maintain itself perfectly. It needs to make exact copies of cells when you're growing or healing. But at the same time, it needs to create variety, to shuffle the genetic deck to make sure a species can evolve and survive. These two opposing goals are handled by the two processes we're breaking down today.
Okay, let's tackle mission number one, continuity. This is the world of mitosis, and it is, without a doubt, the body's incredible, high-fidelity cloning engine that keeps you going every single day.
To really get a handle on mitosis, just think about stem cells. These are your body's master cells, kind of like blank slates. So when you need new blood cells, for instance, a stem cell doesn't just become one. First, it uses mitosis to make copies of itself, and then those new daughter cells can go on to become red blood cells, white blood cells, whatever is needed. It's this constant cycle of copy and specialize.
So this is the textbook definition you'd see. But the part you really got to latch onto is this: the same number and kind of chromosomes. That's the whole game. Mitosis is all about making perfect genetic copies. It's basically biology's Control-C, Control-V, a perfect copy-paste function.
So why do we even need this cellular photocopier? Well, there are a few huge reasons. For one, growth. You started as a single cell, and mitosis is what built the trillions of cells that make you, you. Two, for repair. You get a paper cut, mitosis is what kicks in to make new skin cells and heal that wound. And three, just general maintenance. Your body is constantly replacing old, worn-out cells.
And the process itself, it's actually beautifully simple. First up, the cell's DNA, all its chromosomes, makes a perfect copy of itself. Then, those identical twin copies get lined up and pulled to opposite sides of the cell. And finally, the cell just splits right down the middle. Simple, super efficient, and perfectly exact.
And this right here is the main takeaway. The end product of mitosis is two daughter cells that are perfect, identical clones of the original parent cell. They have the full set of chromosomes, we call that diploid, and they are genetically the exact same.
All right, let's completely switch gears now. If mitosis is all about making things the same, meiosis is its polar opposite. It is all about creating variety. This is the engine that powers sexual reproduction and, honestly, drives evolution itself. So right out of the gate, this definition is screaming the differences at us. Instead of 2 cells, we're getting 4. And this is the big one. They don't have the full set of chromosomes. They only have half. These special cells are called gametes, which you and I know as sperm and egg cells.
But that brings up a pretty big question, right? Why on earth would you want to create cells with only half the genetic playbook? Doesn't that just seem incomplete?
Well, it's not just a good idea, it's absolutely essential. Think about it. If a sperm and an egg each had a full set of chromosomes, the baby would have double the amount it needs, and the next generation would have 4 times the amount. It would be a complete genetic mess. So meiosis is what we call a reduction division. It has to cut that chromosome number in half so that the right number gets restored when fertilization happens.
And the process totally reflects this goal. I mean, it starts out kind of like mitosis. The chromosomes make copies of themselves, but then things get different. It goes through 2 divisions, not 1. The first division separates pairs of chromosomes, and the second one splits them again. It's kind of like taking 2 decks of cards, shuffling them all together, and then dealing out 4 completely unique hands.
Okay, so we've looked at them one by one. Now, let's put them right next to each other to really hammer home just how different they are. This is where it all clicks into place. And wow, this image just lays it all out, doesn't it? On the left, you've got mitosis, 1 division, which gives you 2 identical diploid cells. And on the right, you've got meiosis, 2 divisions, giving you 4 genetically unique haploid cells. The visual contrast is just so clear.
This table is basically the ultimate cheat sheet. So let's run through it. How many daughter cells? 2 for mitosis, 4 for meiosis. What about their genes? Perfect clones in mitosis, unique variations in meiosis. Chromosome count? A full set or diploid for mitosis and a half set or haploid for meiosis. And finally, what's their main job? Growth and repair versus sexual reproduction. It's that simple.
Let's just look at this diagram one last time.
because it's so good. Just follow the journey from that single parent cell at the top. You can see mitosis is a straight-up, one-step copy job. Meiosis, on the other hand, is that two-step dance of dividing and reducing, creating all that variation along the way. They're just two different strategies for two totally different biological goals.
And hey, for any of you studying this stuff, here is a golden tip from our source material. Test questions love to ask about the differences between these two. So the key, the absolute key, is to be specific. Don't just say they make different numbers of cells. You gotta say mitosis makes 2, meiosis makes 4. That specificity is everything.
So after all these details about what's happening inside our cells, let's zoom all the way out. Why does any of this matter in the grand scheme of things? What's the big picture?
Honestly, this might be the single clearest way to think about it. Mitosis is about the here and now. It's the process that literally built your body and keeps it running smoothly. Meiosis, well, meiosis is all about the future. It's the process that creates the genetic possibility for the next generation.
So, to boil it all down to its essence, mitosis is all about continuity. It provides the stability that keeps you alive and growing. And meiosis is all about variety. It provides the genetic shuffling that drives the future of the entire species. You absolutely need both for life as we know it to exist.
And that kind of leaves us with a final, really fascinating question to chew on. Life needs both. It needs perfect copying to exist from one day to the next, but it also needs constant change to survive in the long run. So which one is more fundamental to the story of life on this planet? The powerful drive for a continuity or the incredible engine of change? Something to think about.